Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. It is an old deck from 1979. If you want that information, it's right there. So I feel like I don't think you can find this deck anymore. Maybe not cheaply, that's for sure. But there's that. Supportive Oracle Cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. There is a website. It's here on the back. rockpoolpublishing.com. A as in apple, U as an umbrella. So if you want to freeze that and go search that out. If you'd like, of course. Whew. All right, what do we have for Aries? All right, that's a compatible card, but do we like it? Like, the cards are not wanting to come apart. Okay. So, I don't know if we're done. Yeah, we're done. Okay. So, going into this situation, this is the challenge card. It's the Six of Cups, which talks about history. Which my first thought is, the way things have gone before, it's not going to play out the same way now. Something has changed. Something has definitely changed. So it's almost like, I don't know if this was positive, because I don't see you, like, I don't think you'd get involved in this if you thought this was going to be a bad situation. So I'm thinking you're going to expect this to go fairly well. Or at least in a direction that you can handle or you're like comfortable with. Kind of like, oh yeah, I know what this is about and I'm ready for it, whatever. But the history is like how it's gone before is not how it's going this time. Just as a heads up, I don't think it's going bad for you. But I feel like, whoever you're dealing with, the Justice card is coming out for them. Kind of like it's time for them to start putting things in order correctly. I feel like maybe this is a person that might do that thing where, rob one person to pay another. Take from here to give to there. The Robin Hood type feel. I feel like they might be having one of those lives. One of those lives. I'll skimp on this and give extra over there. And if I want to do this, or like, you know what I mean? They don't balance things out correctly. And this might be one of those situations where they like hanging out with you. This person likes being around you, but I feel like they might overdo it. Somehow they're overdoing it in some respect. Maybe not hanging out with you too much, but maybe like they're trying to do too many things at once. It's trying to it's almost like a person who does a lot of physical jobs and then tries to make it on 4 hours of sleep. If you're doing a lot of physical jobs, it's hard to make it on 4 hours of sleep because your body physically has to heal while you're sleeping. More intellectual jobs sometimes can work out in 4 hours. They get used to it. But if your physical body needs to heal, that's a little more difficult. I don't know why we're going there with that. Because I have heard of people who have more like intellectual jobs. They can kind of do the 4 to 5 hour night asleep and be all right. But people who do like, if they're picking up boxes all day and doing this and running here and running there and going upstairs and downstairs and left, right, and they're doing this constantly, 4 hours is not going to be enough. 4 hours is still going to leave you in pain, and your body's not going to be okay with you. And I almost feel like this person overdoes it. Whatever they're doing, they might be kind of running it like they were when they were younger, because I'm in my mid to late 40s. All right, I'm 46. But when I was in my 20s, I could get away with staying up all night. I could get away with like cutting down to 2 to 3 hours once or twice a week and be all right. But my body won't have it now. My body's like, oh, we're gonna make you suffer for that. Oh, you're not gonna get that. No. My body's like, oh, we don't play that game anymore. No. So I feel like maybe in the past they were able to get away with it, and now it's like, oh no, things have changed. So I think they want you to be aware of it. This person is going to have to sooner or later tell you that they can't keep up. I think that's what it is. Is that the 3 of Swords? 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. They're going to have to admit that they can't keep up. And they're going to try desperately to do so, and they're going to be very devastated that they can't. They're going to feel like they have to. They don't want to let you down. The thing is, this can't really solidify and go correctly until they've admitted that. You do have the possibility to kind of open the door for the conversation, but you don't have the possibility to make them admit to anything. So you got to kind of like, to make this easier for you, they're like, keep opening the door, keep talking about what's going on, get them to talk about how much they're doing in a day, how things are feeling for them. The sooner they admit that this isn't going to work for them, the sooner you can actually reform this plan for success in the long term. I feel like you're going to see them slipping right off the bat. I feel like you're going to notice they can't do as much. And I see like they seem to have this energy where you're going to give it a chance, kind of like just kind of let them get their sea legs or whatever you think they're doing. The past lives still feels like it feels like the Six of Cups to me. It feels like the same life, just the way it used to go. It doesn't feel like a whole nother life. Could be, but that's not what I'm feeling. You go with it with whatever way you feel is right. I'm feeling you're giving this person a chance to get it together and decide what they want, because you're like, I don't want to live their life for them. If they say they can do it, I'm going to let them do it. They're saying just keep opening the door for them to have the conversation. Sooner or later they got to. Also, like, they seem to be having this fear like they're going to emotionally let you down, like you're going to be disappointed in them or really like let down. I don't think you will be, though. I think you're kind of like, no, what things are, what things were, that's different. I just need somebody honest to do like the best they can. And if that has changed, then that's changed. Just tell me the truth and let's work through it. They have to come forward. We're waiting for them to come forward. And this is the 9. It's funny, the 9 and the 8 feel the same to me in this reading. They can't release themselves from this stress until they come forward and tell you. It says automatic writing, but I'm getting communications. I'm getting swords energy. They have to tell you. Like, you'll notice the Justice card has a sword in their hand. They have to tell you. They have to have this conversation for you. This is almost like spiritual advancement. This is spiritual advancement for them. It's something they need to do. They need to kind of address that things have changed. They seem to be really bothered that they're going to let you down. I don't think that's what's going to actually happen. I feel like once they come forward with the truth and they say, you know what, I used to be able to do this, but I have so many things on my plate now. I can't do 100%. I can't do 5 hours after work anymore. I can do 2, maybe 2.5 before I fall flat on my face and pass out. So I can't do 5 anymore. I'm sorry. And they feel really bad about it, but I feel like once they tell you, you're like, okay, that's fine. Are you sure about the 2 hours? Should we change the days? Should we not make it as many days? What do you think? I feel like once you find out the truth, I don't see you being upset about it. You're like, okay, yeah, no, it makes sense. It's reality. You're kind of like, well, my life has changed too. How we used to do it before and how we do it now, my life is completely different. Back then, I had a whole different life. Now I have things going on that, yeah, I have a lot going on too, and I can't either. So I totally understand if we need to change this around. I'm totally open to it. You seem totally open to it. I feel like you're going to blow this person away when they finally realize, you know, they should have never hidden this. They just should have talked to you. I feel like they built it up in their own head. And when it comes forward, it's not really something you're expecting at first, unless you're watching this reading and you're like, oh, okay, now I am. Because I feel you're very gracious. It's more about the quality of the person, the integrity of the person. You know you can trust this person. You know they tell you the truth. I'd rather have somebody there that I know I can depend on and will do what they say, rather than somebody who does really good today and then is gone tomorrow, or they do really good with this job, but then I have to watch my back because any moment now they could be throwing a knife into it. I'll take the honest person. I'll take the honorable person. I'll take the integrity person any day of the week. I don't need everything in 5 seconds. I did like it. I mean, if we're going to push it, if we're going to be honest, you do like things going quickly and getting done. But if that can't happen, you'll take the honesty and integrity over quick and questionable, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I don't see you having a problem with this. I think it's basically because of the person that's involved here. I feel like, no, it's fine. We don't have to do things in 5 minutes. Everything doesn't have to be done like that. We don't have to do 5 hours every night. If your life is too busy and you can't do that, but you're sure you can do 2, maybe 2.5, I think that's great, as long as you're sure that's okay. Are you sure that's what you can do? And I feel like they're like, yes. They'll restabilize. I can't do the 5 hours a night. I can do 2. I can do 2 every night. I'm more than happy to do that. They will stabilize with that. They'll be cemented in, and more will come of this. Things will grow and prosper. I feel like they'll move their schedule around. They may end up doing more later, but they're going to have to move things around first, and then there'll be more talks about that later, and it'll make more sense later if it's applicable. Things go better once they talk about, hey, I can't keep up with this as much. Things go a lot faster too once they admit that. I find that very strange. It's almost like what they were doing in 5 hours isn't as much as when they were getting as like they're getting more done in 2 hours than they were in 5 hours, because I feel like they were so run down and so out of energy that they were dragging so much that they didn't really get enough done. Like the 5 hours was like wasted when they cut it back down to two, because I feel like they're going to cut some other things back too. Much more energy, much more focus, much higher quality, and they get a lot more done. It's kind of like, wow, you get more done in 2 hours than you did in 5, because they're taking care of themselves better. So that's kind of like, it's better. It's better for the situation as a whole anyway. So that's good. I think you're going to notice that difference. Kind of like, wow, it was 5 hours before, they did 10 units. They're doing 2 hours now and they do 15 units. What? Because their body is more nice. Like their body is ready to do it. Their body is together. Their body is ready and comfortable with doing this now. So it's much different now. When they start taking care of themselves better, things improve dramatically in a lot of different areas. So you'll notice that positive change with them. I think the reason this is going to come to you too, because I'm ready to end it, but there's like a little bit more, because I feel like you're wondering, like, what's the deal? Because you kind of see that it looks like they're struggling, and you're like, what's going? I feel like you're kind of wondering, like, are they all right? Is something up? Are they gonna, like, what? You seem to be questioning what's going on over there, but you're busy on your own side. I feel like that's part of this reading too, to kind of let you know, like, you're picking up that something isn't quite right. When I get the Nature's Journey, I get a lot of water here, which makes me think of psychic things, especially with the Star card. The Star card is Aquarius, which is an air sign, but it kind of feels like you're catching on that something's a little off. Maybe this reading is coming to you because maybe there's something or someone you're like, something seems a little off, and this is your heads up, like, this is what's off, and it'll be all right. Again, if you promote this conversation, it goes by quicker, so up to you. Whatever you see is appropriate, naturally. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Of course, if you're interested in the donation information, that's below as well. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.